Think about, well, yeah, think about how big it was to have coverage of a small town high school musical. It wouldn't expect. Roy, it's great to be with you today.
Well, thank you.
Yes, I know you as a banker and a civic leader and a state senator, and back about 25 years ago, a candidate for statewide office. Why are you now working to promote local journalism? I thought politicians and journalists were on opposite teams.
You know, they're really not. They really are both, I think, really in a position to do the good things in the community, to provide leadership and to work on things like that. And so I don't really think there's an antagonism between the two. Both need to have integrity and to talk about things, both plus and minus, and work together. And so I think they're a good pairing. The local news is really important if you're going to have, you know, well-informed people for schools, city government, county government, and the business community. So I think it's right at newspaper is right at the heart of any size community.
You know, I read something this week by a Vermont-based journalist, and I'm going to share it with you, Roy, because I think you'll appreciate it. A functioning community, almost by definition, is a place where people take an interest in things that don't directly affect them. For example, when they worry about schools, even if they don't have kids. It seems to me there's a role for local news in sustaining that kind of broad-minded civic interest in the populace. Would you agree?
I would agree, and I think one other thing about communities such as we're talking about here, I think that they add a lot to the public good. They end up with teaching a lot of valuable life lessons as they go through.
Yeah, one other thing I would say for local journalism is that it improves local government. Would you agree with me?
Totally agree. Because I think people really are appreciative of having all the facts get out there. And most issues are really not issues. Most laws are passed. People agree on them. And I think the news media, newspapers, make it possible for people to have a good understanding and go forward, whether it be city, state, county, or whatever.
I spent my career at the Star Tribune watching politicians like you, watching a lot of them, and I think they perform better when they know they're being watched.
I think you're right. That's right. And I think also that the public, looks at people in a better way when they are feeling that they're being told all the facts, both pro and con.
As you've experienced here in Eden Prairie, local newspapers have fallen on hard times as the digital age has really come to take hold. Now with news available from around the globe just one or two mouse clicks away, it's been tough for local papers to survive. I think our industry made a mistake in giving people the impression that news online was going to be available for free. Local news isn't free,
well,
is it?
There's no such thing as a free lunch when you really get down to it. They need to have steady, strong journalism in place. You have to be able to support that, and that means paid subscriptions, advertising, etc.
With so many of local papers struggling with the digital age really dawning, and now a nonprofit model like the Eden Prairie Local News is developing. How would you advise communities to proceed to find the local news that they need to thrive?
Well, I think the model that EPLN is following is really an ideal model. Nonprofit. We're fortunate to have people who are willing to work at a much less than market price. And you can't always rely upon that, but we're fortunate that we have a lot of community support that's coming forward, and I think it will only grow. And with it being digital and almost at your fingertips any hour of the day or night, it will work.
Well, the medium may change, but the journalism has to stay there, and that's how I think you're trying to secure in Eden Prairie. So congratulations for that.
Thank you. Well, I'm just a small part of it, and I can only say I'm not a journalism person. I'm really more, I've just been around town long enough that I can talk to a few people, and that's kind of where we're at.
Well, keep talking, Roy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think that the biggest challenge to us in the next couple of years will be making the transition from being pretty much an all-volunteer organization to being an organization that has paid staff. And we really need to get to that point Right now, it's critical that we have the support of the community in terms of buying ad space on our online presence. We need people to have paid subscriptions to the Eden Prairie Local News because we simply cannot continue to provide this service without being financially stable. We are starting a Founders Fund, and the hope is that we can get people to recognize the importance not only of the people that helped found this community and this community newspaper, but also people that are interested in maintaining that sense of strong community that Eden Prairie has always had. And we hope that we can perhaps get some larger donations from the public and better recognition of what we are trying to do at the Eden Prairie Local News.